Hi, I'm Bill O'Reilly. Thanks for watching us tonight. A tale of two Americas, California and Texas. That is the subject of this evening's Talking Points Memo. Over the Thanksgiving weekend, I was down in Austin and Houston, Texas, doing shows with Miller. It's been a while since I had visited the Lone Star State, and I took a good look around. Now, next week I'll be going out to California, the state with the largest population. Texas is second. And it's fascinating to compare the two places because they signify the clash that's taking place in America right now. Texas voted for Romney by about 1.3 million votes. California voted for Obama by about 2.3 million votes. Texas, conservative state. California, dominated by liberal Americans. Both states have more minority voters than white voters. The overriding tradition of Texas is that self-reliance rules. Most voters there don't want government telling them what to do. Therefore, they don't have a lot of social services. No state income tax in Texas. However, debt in the Lone Star State is about $40 billion, and there is a balanced budget amendment. By contrast, California owes an astounding $167 billion, and it's running an annual deficit of about $9 billion, money that can never be paid back. And what is California getting for all that? High school graduation rate, 37 out of 50 states. Per capita income, $44,500, but there's a 10.1% unemployment rate. Crime, number one. There are more prisons in California than any other state. Let's take a look at Texas. High school graduation rate ranks 44, slightly above California. Per capita income, about $40,000 a year, but there's relatively low unemployment, 6.6%. Convicts in state prisons rank number 2 behind California. So you can see there's not a big difference in the economic and social stats, but there is a big difference in mindset. California has many more social welfare programs. Golden State also has many more business regulations. Texas, you can pretty much set up any business you want. You can also ride a motorcycle without a helmet, talk on a cell phone in the car, and on and on. Texans basically saying, hey, government, get out of our lives. Californians, on the other hand, generally embrace big government in just about all areas. I mean, when the City Council of San Francisco proposes to ban goldfish, you know you have an intrusive situation. By the way, that same city council finally banned public nudity last week, except for permitted festivals or parades. Thank God the Thanksgiving Day parade, not held in the city by the bay. In Texas, if you run around naked and make a wrong move, you might get shot. The state allows its citizens to carry concealed weapons. Can't do that if you're naked. In California, only vicious drug cartel people carry guns, because if the regular folks do, you're likely to be big trouble. They get in big trouble. The cartel guys go back to Mexico. So you can see there's a stark difference between living in Texas and living in California. The question for all American is, what place do you think is better? Now, I like both states. They're fascinating, but I don't want to live in a nanny state, and that's what California is. New York's getting there as well, where I live. California's also going bankrupt. $167 billion in debt. Are you kidding me? That is grossly irresponsible for a state with as many natural resources as California. I mean, these pinheads in Sacramento think they can just spend money and other people have to pick up the tab. Meantime, in Texas, if you hit it big, you get to keep much of what you earn. Yes, there are local taxes, but the state does not impose an income tax. That's why so many workers are moving to the Lone Star State. Florida's a similar situation. Comes a point where each of us has to decide what kind of country we want. Many Americans are depressed because traditional America seems to be disappearing. Certainly, President Obama is a big government progressive guy, and now he has a second term. Talking Points doesn't expect the president to change his philosophy. He's going to spend an enormous amount of money on social justice. And he's going to take money away from successful Americans in order to finance his vision. Could be wrong, but I don't believe that's going to help the economy very much. However, the president's going to do the social justice thing no matter what. In Texas, the government does not believe that redistributing income is its responsibility. Also does not believe that it should micromanage the lives of its citizens. If you're dumb enough to ride a motorcycle without a helmet, you wind up in the cemetery, it's your call. Trust me, nobody's banning 16-ounce soft drinks in Waco. Again, it goes back to everybody has a gun. In California and the federal government, if California and the federal government, I should say, continue to spend at the rate they're spending, both will go bankrupt before Barack Obama leaves office. That's the truth. But now, The very ominous new tax scheme bubbling under the surface, so-called wealth tax. In France, Spain, Iceland, and Switzerland, they tax the net worth of wealthy people every year. Doesn't matter if you earn anything or if you get income or dividends. Doesn't matter. If you have assets, house, gold, car, whatever, those governments are going to take some of that. Uber liberals in America want to do the same thing.
You can replace completely the income tax and the estate and gift taxes with a wealth tax of 1.5%. I think it should be graduated and progressive because, to me, the most important issue is to deal with the wealth inequality in this country, which is much more severe than the income inequality in this country.
Isn't that interesting? Wealth inequality. Where have we heard that before? Karl Marx, Mao, Fidel Castro? If the USA were to impose a so-called wealth tax, that would be the seizure of private property, thus unconstitutional. So on paper, we can't do it. But we're living in a very strange time, and socialism's close. State of Vermont has a socialist senator, Bernie Sanders. He'd take everything he could from the wealthy. Again, if Congress passes a law that seizes private property from wealthy Americans, we'll no longer have a capitalistic country. So when you yell at me, you guys out there, when you yell at me for not calling Barack Obama a socialist, now you know where the bar is. I don't expect President Obama to endorse a wealth tax, but if he does, believe me, all hell is going to break loose. Finally, I enjoyed my weekend in Texas. I lived in this state for 2 years, and I admire the spirit there. I also love California. The weather's great. It's a beautiful place. But as for philosophy, I'm with the Texans. I don't want the federal government telling me how to live or taking what I earn to a punishing degree. And that's a memo.